Hello, everybody. Welcome to Building the Sapphire Marriage. We are Chris and Carol Green. How are you today?
Hello.
We've had a desire to do this for a long time, but after we celebrated our 45th, yes, I said that, 45, our 45th wedding anniversary, this became the perfect time to finally do this. First, I want to explain the name of the podcast, calling it the Sapphire Marriage. You've heard of the silver wedding anniversary. That's when people have been married 25 years, and you probably heard of the gold or the golden anniversary. That's 50 years. But did you know that there is an anniversary known as the sapphire marriage, which is when you've been married for 45 years? And the sapphire is stone, is a very deep blue color, and that symbolizes a marriage of wisdom, loyalty, fidelity, enduring love. That's what 45 years, and it really is. I mean, it's 4.5 decades, and for us, it wasn't just tolerating each other, although we've had to sometimes. But a lot of learning, a lot of growing. We've been
Yes.
through all of the seasons of marriage that couples go through: the time before children, then having children, then them as infants. For those of you that don't know, we have three sons. They're all adults now.
Awesome. You're awesome.
Our oldest is 40, and then the twins are 36. Wow. And so that tells you a lot already. Yes, we have twins. Three sons, and two of our sons are married. The oldest and the youngest are married.
Mhm.
And we have two grandchildren, two girls. And they are, and that youngest son and his wife and those two girls, they live in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So they're a long ways from us, but that's our family in a nutshell. So we've gone from it being just the two of us to now we got two daughters in love and two granddaughters, and when it stuck from with you've gone from being outnumbered because you had a husband and three sons.
Right.
You were outnumbered 4-1, and now there is more female than males. We've got
So
two.
far. So far.
Or is that even? We're even, 4-4. It's two daughters in love and
Two
two
granddaughters.
granddaughters. So that's four girls and four men, 4 men, 4 ladies. Oh, I forget about you. Oh, I'm sorry. How can I forget about you? Yeah, so we are outnumbered. Ah. So that's what's a little bit about our story. That's a little bit about what the when we're talking about building a sapphire marriage. That's why, because it's based upon the meaning of the sapphire anniversary, being married 45 years, and what that stands for, what it means. And so we've also authored a book that we call "We Made a Pact." We wrote this book after we've been married 30 years. So after our 30th anniversary, we decided to tell our story. And what's really different about our book is that it's not a book telling people what to do in marriage, and all of that. I know that there are books written by experts that give people all kinds of tips and advice and steps and everything to enhance their marriage, but ours is basically just us talking about the lessons we learned
Yes.
in those first 30 years. Ah.
Mm.
And we design that book. And when we do marriage coaching, when we do online consultations, and we have a course to help couples create their own pact. Since it's called "We Made a Pact,"
Yes.
the name of the book is "We Made a Pact," and we help them to create their own pact. I won't give it all away because I want you to go and get the book. But a pact is, I'll tell you this much, is a way for a couple to create what we later came to find out is a safe haven, a place in your marriage where you can connect with your mate's heart and begin to facilitate healing and even resolution in your relationship.
Mhm.
For us, it was just creating a safe space that we could always go to. And I mean, like I said, later on, many, many years later, we found out that the pact was something called later that called a safe haven. We didn't know anything about that. We didn't
Well,
know any.
it hadn't even been created at that
Yeah,
point.
so we didn't know nothing about safe haven.
No.
We didn't know anything like about the five love languages and all those things that came later because we got married in 1981, and many of those books and concepts and ideas didn't come along until years later. And so uh, God had us operating in principles and precepts from the Word of God that people later on would adopt and put it within their systems of helping people.
Mm.
I understand that there's a gentleman by the name of John Bowlby, Bol, like a bowl, Bowl, then By, Bowlby. He's the originator of what's called the attachment theory. And those of you involved in psychology and counseling and human services, many of you are familiar with attachment theory, but he also came up with the phrase of helping couples who are dealing with issues concerning attachment in their life, them learning how to create a safe haven in their marriage. And I got exposed to that phrase safe haven through Dr. Sharon May, who's the founder of Safe Haven Marriage. She teaches a course called Marriage Keeping Love Alive, and that was one of the courses that I had to take when I was recertifying for my master mental health coaching certification. And so, of course, I was just amazed as I was going through that course to find out everything that she's talking about is what we live.
Yes. And had to create.
Yeah, within our own relationship, but we didn't know that
Yeah.
that's what we didn't know that we were creating a safe haven. We just called it, from our standpoint, we just said we made a pact,
Correct.
and the
Yes.
agreement was that no matter what was said and how it was said, I'm going to choose to believe that you love me, that you're saying it for my good,
Mhm.
and no matter what we are going through, we're going to keep giving each other grace and
Mhm.
space
Mhm.
to learn, to grow,
Mhm.
and try desperately hard not to jump to conclusions
Mhm.
and work it out.
Right. And talk it out.
Yeah,
Don't just hold a an assumption in your brain. Let's
yeah.
let's get it out in the air and in the open and talk about it, discuss it, and
And
um,
I just thought
yeah.
about one of the main reasons why we were like that, because a lot of people don't know this. Just before we got married, and that's a story in itself. We had two weddings. I mean, two ceremonies. The
Mhm.
first was at a Justice of Peace in Tulsa, downtown Tulsa, Oklahoma, because that's where we were living at the time.
Mhm.
And then the ceremony was held in St. Louis, Missouri. So our official date of being licensed was December the 29th of December 80. And then 5 days later, on January the 3rd,
Mhm. 81.
1981, we had our wedding ceremony. So
Right.
that's a story, a little bit of story back.
And yes, we do celebrate for a
We
week.
celebrate the whole week. We don't have an anniversary date. We have an anniversary week. Uh, and But the reason why I share that is because when when we got to when all of when just before we got married, 9 months before that, we were in a terrible car accident.
Mm.
A drunk driver ran a red light and
Yeah.
hit us
Yeah.
and flipped our car upside down. Um, we survived that very terrible accident.
But
Uh,
we didn't even have seatbelts
we didn't
on.
have seat belts on or
And
anything.
again, that's a story
That's
all
a
in
whole nother
itself.
story. We got so
That's
many stories. But so you say, what does that have to do with you making the pact and the way you live?
Mhm.
Well, when you survive something like that while you're engaged, it placed within us this reality that life could be over like that.
Mm.
But it didn't make us morbid or anything. We didn't walk
No.
around paranoid
That
and
something bad was
bad is always going to
gonna
happen.
happen. Yeah,
But
right.
it made us think about taking advantage of the moment,
Right.
not
Making the most of the time
that
that
we
we
have.
have.
And so we didn't drag out arguments and
Mm-mm.
fights
Mm-mm.
No, no,
Mhm.
maybe a day or two, but
Mhm.
not no, not on weeks and no,
Mm.
because there was no guarantee, and it got reinforced
Mm.
when 9/11 happened,
Mhm.
and we heard all the stories of people who the last time they saw each other, it was an argument, and they
Mhm.
never ever got a chance to say goodbye, say I'm sorry, or nothing. So that's what it did for us.
Mhm.
It put that within us that you can't assume
Mhm.
that you'll always be able to get back and get it straight.
Yes.
And so that's how we have lived with the pact, and we had we made this phrase, and that is divorce is not an option,
Mm. Right.
not an option at all.
Yeah.
And that brings to mind a story which I gotta tell.
Okay.
It's a podcast, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk to you guys about things that you've never heard about us before, share things we've never shared with you before. But now that we're been married over 45 years and had a lot of journey, we feel like maybe
Mhm.
some of these things can help you, even if you never come to any one of our courses, or you don't necessarily need any of our marriage coaching. Just sharing with you out of our life that maybe some nugget will be helpful for you. But
Mhm.
we still would like for you to get the books and take the courses and all of that. I was going to put that in there. But
Mhm.
we visited a church here in the area where we live, and we really enjoyed the service. The service reminded
Yeah.
us of our home church in St. Louis. Shout out to Metro Christian Worship Center, Bishop Raphael Green, Pastor Brenda Green. That's where we got started in ministry. We used to be youth pastors and
Mhm.
social pastors and
Mhm.
so many things.
Mhm.
And so we were visiting a church here after we've been living and working here at that time about 15
Yeah.
years. And so we visited the church. The church was awesome. We enjoyed the worship, everything, and
The
then
word
really
was good.
enjoyed the word. And so as at the end of the service, the pastor makes it a point to go to the main entrance or the main exit of the church and stand there and to greet everyone as they're walking out. And as we were walking out, he greeted us and everything. But then he asked me a real strange question. He asked me, "So have you ever thought about divorcing your wife?" And I'm going, "What
Oh,
kind of
really?
question is that to ask a visitor who just comes to your church?" And so I said automatically, because this is so ingrained in me and Carol,
Mhm.
I said, "Divorce is never even an option, not even an option." And so he turned to Carol and said, "Is that true?"
And I said, "Yes, it is."
It's divorce is not
That
even an option. It's not even been on the table. And so
we decided that when we first
when
got
we
married.
first got married, divorce is not an option. So, we're thinking that that's a real strange thing to do and all of that. But we enjoyed the service so much that we came back the next week. It was just one of those things that, like, you don't think much about it at the time, just kind of think that was weird. So we come back to church the next week, and he's up and he's ministering, preaching. And then in the course of the message, he says there are some people that are lying to themselves in their marriages and saying that divorce is not even an option. And I'm like,
He can't.
excuse me?
Is he really doing
Is he
this?
really doing this? And he knew he was talking to us because we were sitting on the second row. So he just didn't look in our direction, but he had seen us all the way through the service and while he was preaching. And so he just decided to take that moment to take his shot. And so, of course, we were like, okay, we won't be
Okay.
coming back here.
Right. We're not
Um,
welcome.
we're not welcome here. And because he doesn't believe that it's possible for a couple at the beginning of their relationship to establish something where divorce is not an option. He thought that that's a lie and we're deluding ourselves. And I'm like, no, there. In fact, through many years coming across other couples, we found out we weren't the only ones.
Right.
We weren't the only, but that wasn't anything strange in
Right.
our circle,
Right.
in our circle of marriages and
Friends,
friends.
yeah.
None of all of us had
Made
made
that
that
decision.
kind of a pact that divorce is not an option.
Mhm.
That's never even going to be on the table. No matter how hard things get, that's not an option for us. So Of course, we never ever went back again, but I just thought that that was interesting. And so maybe helping somebody, if your marriage has been attacked or people looking at you like this isn't real,
Mm,
you're living a fake and a phony thing, just want to let you know you're not the only one.
right. You're not alone.
You're not alone, even in that, of people who think that the way you're living and behaving and acting, that is not
Not
quite,
real.
that's not, yeah. So that's that's it so far. So I just wanted just to share that with you, just to let you see what we're talking about when we talk about the
Sapphire
Sapphire marriage and 45 years, and that's just a little bit of a taste. So when we come back, I'm going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we want to share with you uh, some of the questions that we pose to other couples, and we're going to pose them to each other. All right, ready? Go ahead.
To sit and talk about life's joys and sorrows, looking to the years of tomorrow, listening to the cool breeze of summer's wind, basking in the warm, gentle rays the sun sends, enjoying things old and new. I like to share with you the peace and love of God that leads us through life's joys and sorrows. His will are our tomorrow. We didn't know that someday we'd look back over many years, that we'd still be sharing love and life in spite of times of many tears. It's been worth it to walk with God and you. It's been worth it. Our wedding vows hold true. You gave me something very important and special to me. Your love. When you said I love you, it was so much more. When you said I love you, you also said I trust and care for you. You felt what I felt. I said I will be there when you need me. You can count on me. I won't
Oh, wow. Hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, that's one of our songs, one of our many, many songs that we've been blessed to write. Actually, we wrote a book of songs and poems, and we called that book Our Lyrical Life. We published that back in 2021, and it's available on Amazon. You see all the lyrics and all the poetry of our
Our
life.
lives. Yes.
And well, we met back in 1977. So it's been almost 50 years that we have met. And so, but that book at that time, it was a encapsulation of it just
So much.
so much of our life up until that point, up until 2021 from 1977. So what's that? That's about 44 years of knowing each other.
Yeah. Life's
And life
experiences.
experience, yeah. And of course, if expanded even more, but I really hope that you enjoyed that song. And since then, because of today's technology, the thing about putting that book together at the time was that even though we did it as a family legacy project, we wanted to be able to pass this on to our children and our grandchildren. It was kind of like a bummer because it's like, yeah, but they'll never really get to hear
What we heard.
what we heard, how in a
How we heard
professional
it.
way.
Yeah.
We got some recordings that we did back in the 90s when we
Yes.
were youth pastors with many of those songs, but a lot of that stuff is outdated or it's very poor quality according to today's standards. And so thankfully, due to today's technology, we were given the ability to recreate and reproduce all of those songs and attach music to all of those poems. And we have created what we now call audio songbooks. And we use that as part of our family legacy opportunity along with the published book. Now we have audio songbooks to go with the published book. So now our kids and our grandchildren and friends and family can hear the songs the way we heard them when we first released them. So yeah, we're really excited about that. Well, here in this, before wrapping up today, we want to just answer some questions that we sometimes ask other couples when we are coaching them. Every once in a while, a couple will call us. They're going through something, and it can be anywhere from just a one-time meeting to maybe a series of sessions. It just depends upon
What they're needing.
what they're needing. And so we had a session with a couple not long ago. They called up and I asked them this particular question. And so we're going to kind of pose that question for ourselves. And what I asked them was, what was your vision for your marriage when you first got married? What was your vision? And what's so funny is their answer was very similar to ours. So I'll let you answer it first. What was our vision for our marriage when we first got together?
I didn't even know you should have a vision for a marriage.
Yeah,
When we first got married, our goal was to be together,
just to be together.
and we did whatever it took to be
Yeah,
together.
we just wanted to stay together. That was
Yes,
it.
yes,
And like we said, and divorce was not an option.
right.
So no, we didn't have no big vision for how we're going to grow financially. And I'm not speaking against those things. I'm just telling
No,
you
that's
where
just
we
where we
were
were.
at that time. We were very, very young,
Yes,
21, 22 years old.
right. Had never heard of such a thing.
Didn't even know you're supposed to have a vision. As far as I knew, if you're both working, got good jobs, got that commitment like we have,
Hmm.
then whatever life is going to send our way, we're going to work to conquer it, and we're going to grow.
Together.
And so we started on that path. We
Hmm.
moved from apartment to townhouse,
Hmm.
from townhouse to buying a house, and then real life hit.
Loss of job.
Loss of jobs, foreclosure, moving back into apartments, moving in with parents, coming back out, trying to start all over again.
Yep. Yes. Yes.
And that was really it. But through it
Yes.
all, we were just trying to sticking to we just want to be together.
Right. Right.
So that was if you want to call that a vision, that was our vision, was
Yes.
just to stay together. That was really it.
Yeah.
The one question that You'll even see this on our website, chrisandcarolgreen.com. You'll even see this in our marriage section, where we're on about the section about sapphire marriage. We ask the question, so how in the world do you stay married for over 45 years?
Mm. Um, I think a good start is premarital counseling. It's understanding um, how you have responded to life up until that point. Um, uh, that's what premarital counseling is for, to help you to understand where you are um, at that point in your life, so that you can know how to handle the things that make you feel bad, or make you think badly of yourself, or make you think badly of others without even having a conversation with them, knowing that you even need to have a conversation about something that you just think about.
Yep.
um, Knowing how to interact, knowing how to have a relationship, and what the stages of relationship are,
Yeah.
and how to work through the different relationships in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Um, these things are all part of building the foundation so that you can have a healthy, a sapphire marriage.
And we learned a lot about looking at your past, your
Mhm,
family upbringing,
mhm.
being able to um, get a better understanding that just because you were taught certain things as being right or wrong, that was your family culture. And you are
Right.
establishing a whole new family, a whole new culture.
Absolutely.
So you're going to connect with somebody who can have absolutely, completely different set of values or assessments of what is right and wrong in life. It could be
Yes.
everything from who, what do you do when you put all the food in the refrigerator? Does it belong to everybody, or does it just belong? Does mine is mine? Do I put my name on it? Or some people feel like if it's in the refrigerator,
It's for everyone.
it's for both of us. And you can, and there's just a long list of things. Sleeping, the temperature of the apartment or of the
Right.
house, whether we're gonna sleep with a night light or total darkness. You just, well, I was in one of the number one fight starters with young couples is I was always taught. My mama always taught me to. My daddy always said, and so yeah, it starts. And so you just got to learn, and you need to learn things about your personality, your temperament. All
Mhm.
those things are very helpful. And even here's the one that many people don't think of. You even have to understand theologically where
Yes.
you are.
Oh
That
my.
well, we both love God. We're both believers, yeah, but there is we don't both have the understanding about faith. We don't have the same understanding about money. We don't have the same understanding about implementing of different scriptural passages. We
Yeah,
don't have the same
principles.
principles. It's a lot. And so those are things. No, we're not saying you're going to get all that resolved and settled
In
before you
in
get
one
married.
sitting now, or right.
You're not going
These
to
are
get
things
the
that are worked out throughout the years.
throughout the rest of your life, but at least
Yes.
you'll be aware
Yes.
that this is what's going to be on the table.
Yeah.
And also, one of the things that we recommend is that people go through marriage
Enrichment.
seminars while you're single
Yes.
before you get interested in anybody. And the reason for that is because one thing that we've learned through the years of doing marriage coaching is that once a couple has decided, or a person has decided that they're going to get married, they're engaged, they don't hear 90% of what we're talking about. They don't hear most of it. It really is best if you're single and watching this, or if you've even been married before and you're divorced, and I would suggest that you read books like ours, like We
Mhm.
Made a Pact, or go through our Sapphire marriage material, not because
Mhm.
you're planning to get married, but it will give you insight into yourself,
Right.
and you'll be able to see where things went off
Off
the
the
rails,
rails. Yeah.
long before you try to get married again. And if you've never been married and you're single, absolutely get this material, um, because you can hear it when you're not already emotionally engaged
Right.
with someone.
When you're
I call it
when you're surrounded in euphoria because
yeah,
of your love
yeah,
for each other.
your prefrontal cortex has been compromised with emotions. Believe us, it's been compromised,
Yes,
and
your amygdala is in control.
the amygdala is running everything. The emotions are running everything. You're
Yes.
working on planning out you're more interested in the planning of the wedding
Yeah,
than you are in the
right.
planning of your life. So
Yes.
we would suggest one of the ways to build a sapphire marriage is to start exploring what marriage really is
Yes.
before you're in love with someone.
Yes.
Before you've fallen for someone.
Yes.
And if you already have and you're watching this podcast, then please don't wait till after you're engaged to start doing this. Start it now while you're still, but I'm just dating. We're just dating. We aren't really all that serious. That's okay.
Best time.
It's the best time
Yes.
before you even make a decision that we're going to get married.
Right.
That's a big one for us to suggest to you. Wow, this has been good.
It's fun. Yes.
And this is just the first one. And so we look forward to you joining with us in the weeks to come. We're going to be walking you through more and more questions
Yes.
that we think it's important that couples
think about and talk about, work through.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as you can see, our approach is very different. We're not here to hammer you with a bunch of principles and rules, and because life is going to do that, marriage is going to do that, and because marriage is serious, it's work. You don't be married 45 years without it being work. We're going to share a few more of our stories with you. But that's kind of our approach. We do a lot of storytelling, not exalting ourselves as the model and the example or the standard, but just to show you that this is not a fairy tale.
Right.
One of the things that came up one time for us was we had someone who felt like the marriage coaching that we gave them did not prepare them for their marriage. And we take that with a grain of salt. There may have been things that we left out. In fact, there have even been couples that we told them some years later, we said, there's certain things we never covered because we didn't even know to cover it. We'd only been married X amount of years at that time, and we were just following the book, the outline of the premarital course that we used that was prescribed to us to give to you.
Right.
And we were speaking, of course, out of our relationship. But at that time, we were starting to do marriage coaching for couples who already had children, for people who had been divorced and were getting married again. And that wasn't our experience.
Right.
And
we couldn't speak.
And we couldn't speak to it. And none of that was in the premarital course that we offered, that our church offered at the time.
However, we did.
However, we were very real about our challenges.
And we did suggest that they talk to people with their experience.
Yeah. And so we're not being defensive about it or anything like that. I'm just saying that comes up. So we're not trying to cover every single thing, every single issue, every single matter, but we are going to be here each time on this podcast trying to just relate to you some of the best ways for you to establish a safe haven or build or establish a pact within your relationship and why that's going to be so important. Your journey is not going to be like ours, and ours certainly isn't like anybody else's that around our peers who've been married 40 and 50 years. But we can tell you there are certain things that we've noticed that we all share in common, and we look forward to sharing those things with you. So God bless you, everybody. Looking forward to you being with us on Building the Sapphire Marriage with Chris and Carol Green. God bless.
God bless you.